Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and the latest legal update showing over $330 billion taken away from MMTLP investors. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol FYBR in terms of stock analysis, and this is one of the few stocks today that is doing exceptionally well in a very difficult day of trading. So before we start, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, from Reuters, we can see right now Wall Street is sliding to over a 3-week low after mixed payroll data, and from Bloomberg we can also see that stocks are being hit by the tech rout as bonds climb on jobs day. So officially the jobs data did show that it requires action, so not positive news in terms of jobs data, but a significant dip in terms of one of the key stocks that most people look at. I'd like to share with you here is Nvidia. We can see here today getting very close to $100 and down in excess of 5%, $101.55. So from Jesse Cohen, we can also see here breaking news in terms of the Nvidia CEO. He's sold more than $633 million in Nvidia stock since June, and from that time it's gone down approximately 25%. So did he or anybody else know anything? And from stock market news, we can see in terms of some updates, Nvidia has been reiterated as a buy, $165 price target. Tesla has been reiterated as overweight with a $310 price target, and the Bank of America reiterated a buy rating for Apple with a $256 price target. And finally, shout out here to Quiver Quantitative, who stated that the representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz has just bought a stock in a company called Heckler Mining Company, ticker symbol HL, and this trade stood out for a number of reasons, and for the key one being it's the only trade made in by her in months, and it's the first time we've seen a politician trade HL. So go ahead and check that out. And why has she just traded this stock? Let's now move on to have a look at the legal update, and what Scott posted earlier is let's shut down FINRA. He's waiting for a call from FINRA's lawyer, and as he is legally obliged to do so. But in terms of the filing, we're going to go straight ahead and have a look at this. So we can see again, quick reminder, this is in the United States District Court for the districts of Vermont. Scott versus the defendants are Rubenstein, GTS Securities, Charles Schwab, FINRA, and also Gary Gensler of the on behalf of the SEC. So moving on to some of the key findings and updates in his complaint here, we can see first of all Scott's reply to the memorandum of law in opposition to the defendant, which here is FINRA, and the memorandum of law in objection to the FINRA's motion for expedited limited discovery. So he is objecting to it, and what he stated in terms of his preliminary statement, first of all, that FINRA has no absolute immunity. So that is certainly true, especially if they are doing wrong, which obviously we are alleging they are. And he goes on to say that there is nowhere in US law on congressional records specifically mandating any claim of immunity by FINRA. There were only 2 U3 trading halts ever instituted by FINRA in the US markets prior to MMTLP. But what I can say is that U3 halts are very rare. And I think the most extraordinary one out of all of them was certainly MMTLP. So he states MMTLP was also illegally started in trading with the knowledge of FINRA regulators, and were allowed to trade also by the defendant, or one of the defendants, Charles Schwab. And then we can go on also to see that Scott states that FINRA's characterization of Scott being a weaponizer files in the face of his motion. He's not seeking to have any documents given to him at this stage. So I don't know if that's a misunderstanding from FINRA and their 11 lawyers, but he's also basically merely looking to protect what we needed to prove the case. So I think he's also using this motion here to comply with the statute of limitations, and he's looking to get delivered for an in-camera review as necessary to this court. So it looks like FINRA are jumping the gun a little bit here, and he just wants simple discovery of his motion for expedited discovery. And at the bottom, he states FINRA has zero immunity and is operating in violation of the Appointments Clause of the US Constitution, Article number 2, Clause number 2 as well. And if we move on to look at the next section, which I think is obviously interesting with regard to Sam Draddy, and he states here he's looking for a motion for an evidentiary hearing, and Sam Draddy has stated under oath that the 20 electronic blue sheet data does not contain information about whether or how a short position was covered or whether a short sale is naked. So again, statement there from Sam Draddy, and Scott is disputing that. I'm sure we all agree with the dispute of that, and he's stating here that Draddy is being truthful. If Draddy is being truthful, then FINRA has no tracking data and holds market makers accountable. And if Scott is correct, FINRA has the means to track short sales, even nakeds, but has chosen not to. Well, it should be a clear-cut case that FINRA has the data and they're able to do this, but obviously it looks like they are dodging this allegation or this question. And he states the question is not whether some things should be done, but who has the authority to do it. So again, it could be an example here of everybody passing the buck. So this is, I think, the interesting thing that I found as well under section 17 footnote. As Scott's documents in his amended complaint orders were being placed and accepted by brokers such that the share values are over a broad range from $300 approximately to over $25,000 per share were accepted, and on-screen Bloomberg video shows it going quickly from hundreds of dollars into thousands. This puts the true extent of the MMTLP fiasco at over $330 billion being taken away from MMTLP holders. So again, this is probably one of the key reasons why FINRA and everyone else are using in excess of 11 lawyers potentially and millions of dollars to defend against I think Scott, who is a fisherman. And he also states here he dispatches FINRA's argument against the blue sheets release as follows. Number one, the costs are non-existent to FINRA as they have already been produced. Again, evidence for this is the fire. Number two, FINRA submitted Draddy's affidavit and it needs to be cross-examined. So I certainly would like to see a copy of Sam's affidavit and have it cross-examined, because it looks like FINRA seem to be wanting to have that protected. And then number three states there can be no claim of privilege if the blue sheets provided are sterilised and only report aggregates as requested. So he is looking to preserve evidence, and he states again, nothing that sees like excess and the evidence of FINRA rule breaking data insanity, fraudulent responses to Congress, contradictions, and the evidence of data corruption is there, and again it needs to be preserved. And Scott's request is for expedited limited discovery coming early in this case. So let's hope that the judge sees sense. And if we now look at his request in terms of an oral argument on the motion, he's looking at find FINRA Rule 203B2 unconstitutional, Rule 644A, Part 3 also unconstitutional. Number 3 is looking for an issue of a permanent injunction against FINRA and the SEC, banning the implementation of any rule similar to 203B Part 2, and also ending all naked short selling, which is basically theft. Number 4, a temporary injunction against FINRA and the SEC, and again hopefully to preserve the evidence. And finally at the end he's looking for a hearing on the existence of FINRA and whether it is legally performing any duties on behalf of the US government, deny FINRA immunity in this action, and grant Scott's motion for expedited limited discovery. So it looks like Scott is hitting them from many angles, and I think the reason for all the angles is caused FINRA to use 11 lawyers so far. And let's finish off by having a look at ticker symbol FYBR, also known as fiber communication, and the information with regard to breaking news and details of stock analysis was shared in the Discord in our DD channel, and in our new live trading data and alert section we also had breaking news, and this was with regard to Verizon looking to expand broadband and reach with a $20 billion Frontier acquisition. If you have a look at this new trading app that we have in the Discord, again we can see being pulled through from penny stocks on Reddit in instant notification, fiber acquisition. So the news is shared live, and that enables you to obviously get ahead in terms of waiting for the updates. So let's have a look at the company, and we can see here Frontier Communications offers services to residential and business customers over its fiber optic and copper networks, including video, high-speed internet, advanced voice, etc. And it's based in Norfolk. In terms of earnings, we're expecting these around about 6th of November 2024. And if we have a look at again from an analyst point of view, 12 analysts have rated this as a strong buy. And if we have a look at a breakdown here, every single one of them here have identified this as a strong buy from previous not available, but every single one is a strong buy. So a great stock here. And then if we have a look at the chart here for the year to date, we can see even today it is trading in the green, and it's up in excess of 36% on the year to date. So keep an eye out on ticker symbol FYBR. And again, one of the very few stocks in today's very, very difficult market that is doing okay. And finally, if you would like to get live trading alerts and news, especially with DDs with stocks such as FYBR, you can join us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.